Hey guys, this is Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and that little bell icon so you know when we drop new
Ding.
videos, because new videos will be coming for the last 2 episodes at least, and more content on other stuff as well. So you just have to, keep track because we're just going to be spitting it out at you. Don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com.
Wonderful.
That deep.
This is your spoiler. I do.
Sorry.
I already took it, so I can just not do this. I'm not about to.
My bad.
Here we go. Okay. This is your spoiler alert. In this video, we're going to be talking about who is Pietro. So if you haven't watched up to episode 7 of WandaVision, pause this, go watch that, and come back. Unless you like being spoiled. If so, that's fine. But for everyone else, you have been warned.
Which is one of the things one of the sound effects we could be adding if you would like to sponsor this video or other videos or our channel or just a certain show where we talk about certain things. You can right below where it says support the channel on Patreon, there you can go to that website right there, and then there's options to do it there if you want to throw us a couple bucks every month, or if you want to sponsor entire videos and have your name mentioned and us do a little ad for you, we can do that too. Just let us know. And if you don't have money and you just like and want to support, then just hit the like button and subscribe. And that will help push us out into the YouTube verse, and we'll get to make more videos and more people will see us. And we really appreciate that. So let's get into the video. Who is Uncle P? Because that man is not your uncle.
It's not your
Don't
uncle.
listen to anything he says.
And who is he, Mom? I don't know.
You don't have the answers.
What?
Wanda don't know, but she knows. She
Wanda
knows
don't know.
at this point that it is not her brother. We know he's not
Who got-
Pietro.
Yeah.
He's still using Pietro's body. Well, ish.
He's using a body, saying his name is Pietro.
Yeah.
Where the actual Pietro body is, I don't know. I guess it's as good as mine.
Still buried, I guess.
Or whatever.
I don't know. So
Or buried.
Who could Pietro be? We've got some ideas.
We do.
Okay, so some options are rather grammar. Some options are that I'm a pirate. Oh man, I'm sorry. So some options are, an option is that he's just a minion. He's not really anybody. He's just one of Agatha's little minions, and he's just Senor Scratchy. That it's kind of like on Maleficent, where she's got her crow that she turns into a human and back and forth. Like it's a witch thing, right?
Such a Disney thing to do. I'm very upset.
Yeah. What makes me think that it could be more than just that is the name Senor Scratchy. Okay, so in the Marvel Comics, Old Scratch, Mr. Scratch, Nick Scratch, these are all names that Mephisto, the devil, has gone by in the past. And Nicholas Scratch is specifically Agatha Harkness's son, who is a much bigger bad than she is.
Who, I just learned, also used to work for Dormammu.
Dormammu, really? Interesting.
So, more of those Doctor Strange, extra Doctor Strange tie-ins, I guess.
So, I mean, could the big bad be Dormammu and not
Mephisto?
Not Mephisto or Chthon or Nightmare?
Or Nightmare.
Very interesting.
It's a possibility. I mean, he is. he is extra peeved that he got tricked by Doctor Strange.
Yep. And Agatha, I mean, they want you to know that this is some devil stuff because we've got like the head of a ram, Baphomet type thing. We've got demon faces. We got skulls everywhere. Like this is a bad dude that she's serving.
Yep. Who is
Assuming that
also
she's serving someone and she's not the big bad herself. Watch
just
that
doing
other
all of
video.
this in her spare time.
Yeah, right. So
um,
who could I want to say Nicholas Scratch. That's who he could be. Who is Uncle P? Who is fake Pietro?
I got
Um
it. I know exactly who he
he
is.
could oh, you think he's Nick Scratch? Nicholas Scratch?
Oh
Or Smudge?
no, I don't think it's Nick Scratch.
Okay.
Who I want
Who?
him to be,
Uh-huh.
who I want him to be, is Nightmare. That's who I want him to be, and he's just having to keep it on the low, just so he's not, I'll let you run the show. I'll show up and help you when you need help. And he only had to actually show up and help this past couple times, just because what you call it. Wanda was starting to really getting good control over everything.
Not to
But
mention Monica showed up.
yeah, and like I keep saying Nightmare because those glimpses when stuff happens, like Vision coming in and it's like his dead body and like Wanda having to do like not look at that. It's like that's a very nightmarish thing to do. And then talking to Pietro and then he's the only one that ends up you see get shot up and dead body. That's also very like and I can't believe Agatha is all the one still in control over this because she was talking to Vision while Pietro was talking to Wanda. So he has to be able to do something by himself.
Yeah. And so he's not just I don't think he's just a magical manifestation because he's still around.
Yeah.
Even though I mean he could technically be a minion, but I think there's definitely more to that. I don't think that he is Mephisto or necessarily unless it's Nightmare working with to try to get Chthon resurrected. I don't think he's Chthon or Mephisto just yet, even though I think Evan Peters would make a great Mephisto. Just those dark eyes and he's intense. Um, so what you got?
Other reason, add on just a hair more for
Mhm.
Nightmare. The other reason is because Nightmare feeds off of nightmares. So if
Yeah.
everything's like perfect bliss and like you're living your best life fantasy, he doesn't have any power. You have to throw something in there to where he can start turning the wheel the other way.
Mm. So I mean that does tie into the snacking on your magic thing, as well as Chthon, which is we covered that in the last video where he uses the Darkhold in the comics to try to resurrect himself into somebody's body, and he has marked Wanda as his potential surrogate, which is why she pulls her power from him in the comics. Her chaos magic. He's the god, like the elder god of chaos or something, demon
Yes.
lord thing. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't think that Pietro is him because why the push for resurrection if he's already in a body? You know what I mean? But I mean, if it's
Yeah.
Nightmare or some other big bad working with Agatha to try to get Chthon on the scene or Mephisto, I could see that. There's a lot of references to devil and something else. There's got to be somebody else pulling the strings here besides just Agatha. But
Yeah.
I do also think that Pietro, like I'm leaning towards him being Nicholas Scratch, her son, because of the man child thing. And because at the very end of the end credit scene, Monica, when she was snooping, Snooper's going to snoop. When she turned around, and when she was looking and when she turned around, she had the purple glow in her eyes, just like Wanda did. And so it seems like her and him have the same magic, use the same magic. even though in the big
Same
reveal
source.
she seems to have sent him in, maybe he was dormant as the rabbit or something, and and she used her powers to I don't know, manifest him as Pietro, as a man.
Give him a physical form. Like if he's just a minion and Disney's just being Disney, um, then yeah, that's a thing. But you know, if Nightmare doesn't have enough nightmare fuel, he might need a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, because Nightmare is kind of like Freddy Krueger in that he causes these nightmares and then feeds off their fear kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yes. And then sometimes, you know, when you're living your best life and things get a little bit chaotic, you might think it is a nightmare. So he shows up, causes a little chaos, gets Wanda in the wrong headspace. It's like, you can't already, they can't kill your already dead husband. So,
Yeah, and his name was
like I
mentioned
said,
twice in this episode past.
in the same episode, you can't do that. You can't say.
So another aspect of this is that we could potentially be looking at New Salem, which is in the comics like a hidden extra dimensional city where witches reside, and obviously New Salem, which is where Agatha is from in the comics, as well as Nicholas Scratch. And it looks like potentially the Garden Party was a coven, and or what is it? Dottie was kind of orchestrating, like she's kind of like the head of it or whatever. So Dottie could be somebody else in this coven, and there are other witches, and they are in New Salem, and maybe he could just be another one of these witches and not anybody in particular.
Even
But
though New
they're
Salem's like in Colorado, but it doesn't really matter because it can't move.
yeah, I mean it's
So
extra dimensional, so I mean the portal could literally be anywhere.
yeah,
And they kind of they want to keep it hidden too, because that was the whole point in the comics where Nicholas Scratch had New Salem turn on Agatha and try to put her to death because he convinced them that she was trying to give away the location and lead outsiders into the city and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And then guess who? The Fantastic Four had to show up and rescue her because she was their nanny. So lots of Fantastic Four references. I'm not giving up on it, even through Agatha, through Monica, like all these different things. Anyways, we're gonna do another video on that. So just stay tuned, watch that video.
What if they gender swapped somebody?
Like who?
What if Dottie is Nikki Scratch?
Then who is Pietro?
Once again, Dylan, I will say he is Nightmare until he is no longer Nightmare.
Because that's what this video is about. Like, who's Pietro? Oh, another one. I guess this is kind of still on the table. He could still potentially be Ultron, because there were some heavy Ultron references in this episode. The whole man-child thing still kind of screams Ultron. Ultron is the video that's suggested after WandaVision, even though that was also a Vision and Wanda's debut movie. So if Hayward is digging around in Vision's body, he could have potentially awakened Ultron. And that's maybe what we're looking at, is because we've established that they used magic to awaken Vision. So potentially, I don't know, maybe Ultron could be residing in a different type of body, because in the comics he does have a human form. So there is that potential.
Yeah. All right, let me ask this. If Ultron made a deal with the devil or a witch who's the sponsor of the devil, or whatever, what would he have to give in return? Like, what would he offer?
Souls? I don't know.
Or
does Mephisto or Chthon, one of them collects souls and the other doesn't, or something like that?
both kind of do in their own way. Mephisto does after. Usually, when you sell him your soul, you end up becoming a ghost rider, or he just, tricks you as the devil does.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, you make sacrifices, and he just collects souls for power.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe with his wiping out genocide, they mentioned that in this episode, maybe him getting those souls would be a good trade. I don't know. We're reaching here. This is theory crafting.
Real reaching.
So that's all I got. I mean, it could be any of those. Personally, I'm leaning towards Nicholas Scratch, just because I feel like they're really, especially with the reveal of Agatha, not just being Agatha, but in her little torture chamber downstairs with the Dexter like blood splattered Visqueen on the walls and everything. They're going dark, and I think they're going dark magic. So I'm leaning towards New Salem, Nicholas Scratch, and less Ultron, even though that's kind of still on the table. I mean, because of the whole Hayward thing. Because that's a whole different, because I think there's parallels, like there are parallel bad guys going in. There's from two different angles going in here.
Yep.
And it was kind of confirmed with this episode where they're showing Agatha, her reveal, and Monica's big reveal in the same episode. So there's definitely two parallel story points going here, from the sword aspect and from the magical aspect. And that makes perfect sense because Wanda and Vision are the marriage of science and magic. So boom, there you go. Anyway. All right. So that's all I got. Anything else you got, Quinn?
That is all for me.
All right, cool. So I am Dylan.
This is Quinn.
And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you know when we drop more videos, because more videos are coming. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.